What's going on, everybody? My name's LeakyTapsMan, and this is another This Week in Gaming, where I bring you up to date with everything going on in the world of video games. And I'll apologise right off the bat if the audio quality is not great, because at the moment I'm unable to record in my own room, so if there's a lot of background noise, that's the reason why. But anyway, on to the actual news itself. The rumours surrounding the next Xbox console have been picking up a fair bit of steam this week. Now, apparently, the penultimate issue of Xbox World, this is a magazine, it's coming out next month, and supposedly it's going to be doing a big reveal on the next Xbox. This is according to T.W.I.G, their website. Anyway, according to the magazine's editor, the console will most likely be called Xbox and not Xbox 720. I don't really know how that'll work because Xbox on its own was just a name that was used for the original console. So I don't know if he means they're going to say be calling it Xbox and then a name afterwards rather than just sticking a number on the end again, which to be fair, 720 wouldn't make a great deal of sense. Anyway, he went into further details regarding the specifications, and it largely matches a lot of the stuff that has been rumoured before. He said it's got 8GB of RAM, a quad-core processor, a Kinect 2.0, he didn't specify what the actual progression was on that side of things, Blu-ray as the disc format, directional audio, whatever that is, a TV output and input, an innovative controller. What's the bet that this innovative controller, quote unquote, is going to have a screen in the middle of it? I imagine those odds are quite good. And the possibility of augmented reality glasses later on in the life cycle of the console. So some quite interesting additions. I'm personally not so sure that they can add all those things and then keep it at a decent price point, which has been rumoured that it's going to be. I remember the leaked document surrounding the console, whether it's legitimate or not, suggested a $300 price point, which frankly would be phenomenal considering all that technology. But again, I'm kind of skeptical on that side of things. But either way, it's nice to see rumours surrounding the next generation getting some legs. Okay, some news regarding potential new Crysis games. Now, Crysis 3 isn't out actually at the moment, but Crytek have already been talking about the future of the series, and in doing so, ultimately confirmed 2 more games. They confirmed that they are going to be going down the free-to-play route with Crysis. They didn't specify any further details, but you can speculate that this will be a multiplayer-oriented game, and will no doubt focus on microtransactions to make their money. They also said that they're planning a sequel to Crysis 3, but it will not be called Crysis 4, for the reason that Crysis 3 is kind of the culmination of Prophet's story, so that's where his storyline ends and a new one begins. So that's great news for Crysis fans. I'm not a huge advocate of free-to-play titles. I don't really think it's a great business model, to be honest. At least not for the consumer. But I've got a lot of time for the Crysis series, so it's by no means a bad thing to be seeing more games in the series. Okay, a couple of bits of news regarding Black Ops 2. Treyarch have confirmed that they're going to add all new game modes through title updates in the future. And although they were kind of tied down by the PR side of things, they're not allowed to say a great deal outside of the official routes. The information that did come out was they are bringing out a mode similar to War Mode from World at War, which was kind of like a land grab type mode. And although there wasn't outright confirmation, David Vonderhaar, this is Treyarch's multiplayer go-to guy, he hinted at All or Nothing returning, which is a game type where you start with an empty gun and some knives and you have to scavenge ammo from dead enemies. I haven't played it myself, so I don't really know if it's actually any good or whether I'm doing the description justice. But it's nice to see the post-release support from Treyarch isn't just limited to new maps, they're actually doing things on the game type side of things. Which, to be fair, they really should do because Black Ops 2 didn't introduce that much in the way of new game types. And keeping in line with Black Ops 2, not so much outright news, but I thought I'd drop it in anyway because it's kind of massive. The game has been said to have generated $500 million in a single day. It's become the highest grossing Call of Duty ever, absolutely dwarfing Modern Warfare 3, which got 400 million, which sounds paltry in comparison, but it's just crazy how much money they actually make with this franchise. It's also eclipsed the original Black Ops, which made 360 million, and it goes to show just how much weight the Call of Duty name really does have. It's actually quite phenomenal. I know a lot of people rag on the series because it doesn't progress the way that it should, and it doesn't really innovate that much, but you really can't fault their advertising campaign and the fact that they're able to just generate this kind of buzz that no other series comes close to, other than maybe Halo and Grand Theft Auto. So a begrudging well done to Activision, because that is just a phenomenal return for a single game. And to conclude, a couple of bits of news about the Wii U. It's out now in America, so maybe a couple of you watching this have already got one. Lucky you. Anyway, Nintendo confirmed that the TV app, which is just lovingly named TV, spelled T-V-I-I, God, wasn't that just genius? It's launching in December, rather than at launch. They said this is to kind of put all the polish and tweaks that it needs and make it as good as it can be, which is fair enough. And those of you already with the console will know this, but for those of you that don't, the console is launching with an absolutely huge update which is said to include the operating system. Apparently out of the box the Wii U can just basically just play Wii U games. So you need an update which actually lets you do all the stuff regarding Miiverse and all of the apps, all that kind of jazz. And supposedly this update weighs in at about 5 gigabytes, which is absolutely insane. And considering the white model only has 8 gigabytes of onboard memory, it's a bit of a P-take. So that's kind of a cheeky move by Nintendo. Cheeky is probably the most light-hearted way I can spin this, because it's really a kick in the balls to the consumer. But you just can't stay mad at Nintendo, they're just too damn good. And that summarises pretty much everything that's gone on this week in the world of gaming. Now, a quick update on my channel. I realised I didn't do a wishlist last week. Naughty me. I did actually record the audio for my Resistance 4 wishlist. It's just between Halo 4 and Black Ops 2, I just really couldn't be bothered recording the actual gameplay that was required for Resistance 4. But I will do it this week, probably. Outside of that, I've got a few commentary topics I'd like to talk about, so without pinning a definitive date on any of those, and even the definitive topic, it's something that you can kind of look forward to. These are kind of unprecedented for my channel. I don't really do conventional commentaries all that much, but they're topics that I'm either quite passionate about or I think are interesting to discuss, so hopefully those are quite well received. Outside of that, it's very much planning and preliminary phases for new series. I've not really got a great deal of ideas. I've not really had time to think about this kind of stuff. I'm bogged down with work and trying to find a new job, so YouTube has been on the back burner, as you can probably tell from my low video count as of late. So I'm hugely appreciative to everyone that's stuck with me. I know I'm not the greatest guy to rely on in terms of getting out content, but that's only because I'd rather make sure that a video is worth your time and not just any old crap. So a massive thank you for watching. If you could like, I'd appreciate that a lot. Thank you and goodbye.